Hi again! In this tutorial I'm going to create a clean and simple card using some products from the Vintage High Street collection. Yes, these products are meant to work with that large 3D card, but I just wanted to prove that they can be used for absolutely anything. So let's get started. First, I have created a 4¼ by 5½ inch card out of craft cardstock. I'm also going to attach a pattern paper panel on top, and this paper is from the previous release that is called Elegant Bathroom. That's just another proof of how versatile these products are if you just look at them differently. So now I'm applying some glue at the back of the pattern paper and I'm sticking it down onto the card front. Now all I have to do is to add some nice elements to it to create my composition. The first one is the window, and the dies are from the bench card mechanism die set. I've die cut both elements and I simply glued them together to create the arched window. Then I just want to give some kind of background to this outline image, so I'm applying some glue onto the die cut and then I'm going to stick it down on a scrap piece of vellum paper. I'm positioning it in the corner, and this way the two sides will be kind of already cut out. Then I'm simply going to let the glue dry a little bit. Then I'm using the scissors to cut out the rest of the outline. Vellum is a very convenient material for fussy cutting since it's pretty thin, and this way you're getting a nice clean edge. At this point I noticed that the paper is still showing through the vellum a bit too much, and this is why I decided to add just another not transparent layer to my window. So I'm applying some glue again, only behind the die cut, and I'm sticking it down onto the piece of cardstock. It's the same one that I used for the card base. After the glue is dry, I'm going to use the scissors again and cut out this image the same way that I did with the vellum. Now my largest focal image is ready, and I'm going to complement it with a couple more images from the same die set. Here I have a couple of shelves. I'm going to play around and position all three elements on the card front. I'm also going to add a little rectangle here, and this one is made with another die from the set, the one that cuts out the wall panels. Once I'm happy with the overall layout, I'm going to lift up the die cuts one by one, apply some glue onto them and stick them down permanently onto the card front. That's pretty easy. The rectangle frame is for placing the sentiment, and I think that this 4U1 from the flower stamp set is just right for this size of the picture frame. I'm going to stamp this sentiment using some dark brown ink. Of course, the empty shelves just don't look right, so I'm going to put some things on top of them, and I'm going to use the dies from the tea room die set. Here I've die cut some teapots and cups from black mirror cardstock with satin finish, and I'm going to stick down all the images onto the shelves using some liquid glue. I've die cut more than I'm going to need, but this gives me an opportunity to play around and look at different variations. I ended up adding just a couple of pieces onto each of the shelves. And now it's time to add some finishing touches. I'm going to attach a few sequins onto the card front, and those sequins are actually more important than it might seem. Not only do they add some extra texture, but they also help me to balance out the composition. As you can probably notice, there's way too much black at the bottom of the card, but nothing at the top, and that makes things kind of heavy. And by placing just a few sequins at the top portion of the card, I can balance it out. I will also be adding a few golden ones, since they just work nicely with the background pattern paper. Using a wax pencil is really convenient for manipulating the small elements, and this one is also available at CraftStash. And this is what the finished project looks like. All I have to do now is to take this card, add a box of chocolates to it, and give it all to someone to brighten up their gray winter day. I hope I have given you some ideas on how you can use the vintage high street collection for more than it was meant to create. Have a wonderful day, and I hope to see you all soon.